Alright guys, so today I want to talk about some of the things that I think the Pokemon Go update got right. I know a lot of people out there are complaining and saying things they need to do to fix, but you know what, sometimes you gotta find the silver lining and everything. So, number one, I know this may seem obvious, but this could have gone very different if they released an update with no Pokemon and gave us trading or some small thing to keep us quiet for a few weeks. However, they made the right choice with giving us the Generation 2 Pokemon, and with that, 80 new Pokemon to hunt through the wonderful dead of winter, which it's not really that cold anymore right now, so I think they did it at a pretty decent time. Hell, it was 76 here the other day. It's probably the apocalypse or something. Now, the next question is, have they given us enough to win back the droves of people who've moved on from the game? Well, at this point, the numbers kind of say yes, but they'll never get back that original huge number they had. And honestly, I kind of think they're okay with that because it's making their server issues a little bit easier. Don't get it twisted. When the update came out, they had some server issues. They've already said it. But again, as I've said in prior video, I kind of think they're cheapskates when it comes to their infrastructure having to do with servers. I don't know why. They've got like $1 billion check just laying around on the coffee table. Spend a little bit of it. But either way, they got that decision right. Number two, special items. I love this. I really, really love this. Now, I know some people are going to give me crap about this, but hear me out, okay? Basically, it gives that little something extra to the game. Honestly, I never thought they would add this, but they did, and even gave it the rarity it deserves. It is extremely rare, as I've said in a prior video of how to get the special items the easiest way. You're talking about 1 in every 200 unless you're exceptionally lucky Pokestop-wise, or getting your 7-week Pokestop spin streak, which is still, by the way, the easiest, most guaranteed way of actually getting it. I know some people who have said, swear to God, they've spun 300 now and still haven't gotten one. Or like myself, I got another Sunstone. I keep getting Sunstones. I cannot get... Anyway, getting off track. So, I mean, it gave it the rarity it deserves. It's one of those things that when you get it and can use them, it gives the person a sense of accomplishment. I know it's going to sound a little bit weird when it's coming to, you know, Pokemon and stuff like that, but honestly, you gotta kind of think about it. It's like, oh, cool, I finally get to do this. It's like something, getting to do some special move in Mortal Kombat or whatever other game, you know. The only knock I will give it is that I wish there were more Pokemon that had that. I mean, they could have done it with Jinx. They could, you know what I mean, but they didn't. They could have done them with several others with their evolutions, but they didn't. So, you know, not for nothing, but I'm more than okay with them coming up with perfectly brand new Pokemon just to transfer them into. I don't think that's so much to ask. Can't count. 3. Alright, so this little thing has gone overlooked, and it's almost never spoken about at all. What I'm talking about is the addition of the new berries, okay? We get the normal raspberries that, you know, make it a little bit easier to catch, but now we get the Nana berries to calm the little jumpy ones down, the little pocket monsters that like to jump all over the place. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this calms them down. And then we get the pina berries, or whatever you want, the pineapples. Which basically what it does is gives you extra candy when you catch them. And that's great for people who have a hard time catching certain Pokemon where there's not really a lot in their area. Where, you know, like me, for Charmanders. I can never find Charmanders. It's like, I never find Charmanders. It drives me freaking crazy. So, basically, it gives me the extra candies. It works great. You know, you can't really complain. You pair that up and make it another one your buddy. Get some extra candies that way. So that way people who haven't been able to get a certain evolution can finally get the thing. You know, it really is a helpful thing. Try it. Use it. I think you get an extra 1 or 2 or something like that with the extra candies. But, I mean, how many of you out there have been short that one damn candy to try to get that evolution that you really want? Happened to me a few times. 4. No more flicking their screens to change the Pokeball types or getting to your berries. I know this seems like something that should have been in the game from the beginning. Not for nothing. A lot of things are. For name one, being able to practice in gyms with more than one Pokemon. I don't know why that was even... Anyway. So, yeah, I mean, no more. Now you can just go onto the screen itself. You can flick on the bottom. You can just pick it while the Pokemon is sitting right there. You don't have to go into the item screen and then pick the thing and then a berry and then the ball. And it saves time. It's a lot less aggravating. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot nicer. So I seriously commend them for putting that in the game. Listen, they could have just given us the 80 Pokemon, and I think everybody would have been pretty happy. But I think the improvements they did are very, very good. 5. And this is going to be the last one. I'm not going to keep drowning on. Changing up the eggs. Now, a lot of people haven't noticed this because a lot of people haven't gotten them yet, but they've actually kind of changed around which Pokemon go into what eggs. They did this for a reason. They did this for so that people weren't getting... Listen, I know a lot of people out there are still trying to get the mythical Snorlax that they haven't been able to grab yet or get out of an egg. So this is kind of rough for them because, as you can see from my past video where I did the 12 10K eggs, I didn't get one Generation 1 anything from any of them. So it seemed to be all Generation 2. A lot of them got moved down to the 5Ks or moved out completely. You don't have to, you're not even going to see them anymore, so you're only thing you're going to do is catch them in the wild. If they change that down the line, my understanding is they're going to be adding other eggs. It's not just going to be the 2s, the 5s, and the 10s. And I know everybody talks about the mythical 25, okay, fine. But I think they're going to be doing different types of the 10s and different types of the 5s. All right, so that's what I'm kind of hoping on at this point. That's my understanding of it from the things that I've heard, but I don't know. Now, all right, so I've given you guys 5 things that I think they got right with the update. Now, I'm going to give you 1.5 things I think they completely screwed up on. Not even completely screwed up on, but number 1, and it has to do with special items. As much as I love the whole things, and I've said this in my prior video, it's almost not fair to people who live in... Actually, no, it's completely unfair in comparison to people who live, let's say, right next to Central Park, where there's about 1 billion Pokestops, in comparison to, say, someone who lives in South Dakota, where there might be 1. So that person has to spin that particular Pokestop, and I get it. Maybe, how would you get Pokeballs, so on and so forth. I get it. But you get my point. All right, so the rarity of it, while I do like the rarity of it, I don't like the rarity of it for other people. Me, for myself, I don't have a problem. I'm smack dab in the middle of Atlantic City, Philadelphia, and New York City, so I really don't have much of a problem. So, but for other people, I kind of feel for you. Number 2, am I the only one out there who thinks the Generation 2 Pokemon are kind of on the, I don't want to say dorky side, but I want to go with the, I don't know, I feel like I'm playing with play school characters. It's kind of, yeah, like, oh, what are those little things? Forget it. No idea what I'm talking about. What the hell are those things called? I can't remember. Anyway, you know, those little, like, Muppets and stuff. I mean, they're so, like, you get the little tiny ones, and like the Flora is a dandelion, and none of them have that, you know, that aggressive. I mean, a couple of them do, like, the bear and Tyrannix, you know, and Skymore, but, you know, the majority of them are kind of like, I mean, even like the little bulldog guy, I don't get it. I'm not feeling it, you know. And I know, like, Snorlax is supposed to be some sort of big teddy bear looking thing and all that stuff, but honestly, I'm just not, I don't know, I'm looking at him and I'm just like, there's a lot of bugs, and a lot of little things that just remind me of Pidgeys that are all over the place, and it just seems like there's a lot more they're just so tiny. They remind me of my daughter Shopkins. Little things. You know what I mean? So, that's the only thing. What are you going to do, right? Anyway, that's it for me. Don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe.